Hello, and welcome back to Rendezvous Photography YouTube channel. I'm glad to be back, actually. So, about 4 or 5 videos ago, I did a video, and I called it, what did I call it? Wonderful Portraits with the Nikon D200. And in that video, I talked about photographing my friend at his farm many years ago, actually. Anyway, I got a comment on that video a while back. And at first I thought, no, I can't answer the question. But then I thought about that a while and said, yeah, I can answer that question. So the comment was for, I hope I say your name right, Armin. It's Armin Gutschik. Armin Gutschik. And he asked me, he said, great portrait shoot. Can you recommend a specific portrait lens for the D200 apart from the kit lens? And that's a good question. I mean, first I didn't think I could, but then, because, I don't buy a lot of lenses. I for one reason is I don't have a lot of money, I guess. But I've found that unless I'm making huge enlargements, the lens, I can get by with inferior lens, and I don't mind it. But because I've just used standard lenses my whole photographic career, I guess. I really haven't had any real expensive lenses. Not the real expensive ones, but after I thought about Armin's question, I thought, well, of course I can. Now, the lens I'm going to recommend or that I'm going to talk about, this is just my experience. Like I said, I haven't had any experience with a lot of lenses, but this particular lens for portraits, I love it, and I'm going to talk about it, and it's worth looking into if you're getting into photography and like me, you don't have a ton of money or even a pound of money or something like that. This is a really affordable lens, especially nowadays. I mean, when it was brand new, it was $1,200, and today I just seen them on the internet anywhere from $300 to $500 used, depending on the conditions. So there you go. So let's talk about this lens. Like I say, this is only my recommendation, my experiences. You can probably find better lenses than this. If you looked and you had a little money, or even if you just looked, you might be able to find something that would suit your needs better than this one. But this is the lens that I use and have used for many, many, many portraits. That is this guy right here. This is the Nikon 80 to 200 f2.8 zoom lens. I believe this model came out like in 1986, and that's probably when this one was manufactured. It's an old lens, and it's had some use. It had use when I bought it used 20 years ago, and it's had some use since I've had it, some tumbles and some falls, and I've dropped it a couple times, accidentally, of course. So this is the f2.8 80 to 200 lens that I love. I love it. That's it. There's no other way around it. I just love this lens. It takes wonderful shots, outdoor especially. Indoor, you can use it also if you got room. It's got, you can use it in manual focus but this lens you can't, because the manual focus quit working on it a couple of years after I acquired it. And so I only have autofocus on it now. and I'm going to put it down here pretty quick. You're going to get a good look at it, and you can see that it's used. Anyway, so yeah, I recommend this lens, and I would look into it if I was you, if you're looking for a portrait lens. And I'm going to show you some samples, and hopefully you will be as pleased as I was with those samples. This will work on nearly all Nikon cameras, the DSLRs, the digital, the film cameras, the manual focus, anything, except it won't work on the older, or the, I guess, less expensive Nikon DSLRs that came out a few years ago, and I don't know if they're still coming out today, but it won't work on the less expensive cameras. But all the pro cameras and the semi-pro cameras, this will work beautifully. Full frame crop sensor, which is what this one is. Yeah, it'll work on all of them. Just put it on, just start shooting. So yeah, right now I'm going to put this down, and then we're going to go and we're going to get a close-up of it, and I'm going to show you what all the features are. It does have the tripod collar here, which is kind of handy. I use that all the time, this tripod collar. It's a solid little collar, actually, so I've never had any problems with it, and it helps when you're on a tripod, which I do use this on a tripod quite a bit, actually. So yeah, let's go for a close-up here. This is my D200 camera and my 80-200 f2.8 Nikon zoom lens. I've had this lens close to 20 years, I believe, and I've used it a lot. It's taken some beatings, and it's not pristine by any means. I'll show you what I mean. So here you'll see I have some tape, and that's used to hold the manual or autofocused switch in place. This lens no longer will manual focus, and this ring moves quite freely, so I've just taped it. I just taped it. And you'll notice some marks here. This is from tape that I used. I had a homemade lens hood I had on it for a while. Took it off, and I could remove that if I want to, but it kind of gives the lens a little character, I think. And the grips here are still pretty good. I mean, they're a little slick, but you know, they work. So this here, the back ring, the ring closest to your camera, is going to be your zoom ring. Goes, of course, from 80 to 200. This lens here is your focus ring if your focus works on your lens. That's your focus ring. Right here is this little switch here is to limit or give you a limited focusing range or a full focusing range. I usually keep mine on full because this doesn't focus real close. If you use this for, like we're talking about portraits, outdoors it's just dandy outdoors, man, you can't beat it. But if you are shooting indoors with it, then you will need some room. I would say you need 10 to 15 feet to get things in focused and composed correctly. Or maybe you don't need that. Maybe you're going to do close-up portraits, but I always found I have enough room in my studio here that I could use this, but it takes up the whole length of the studio nearly. And let me take this lens off real quick here. As you'll see, it's on my D200 camera. Back here is the aperture ring. When you're using it on the D200 or any DSLR, you need to lock it, this aperture ring, at f22, which says right there on your aperture ring, f22, and there's a locking button right here that you lock it. If you don't lock it, it will give you an error code on your camera. So you just need to lock it there and adjust your aperture on your in your camera, not on the lens. I might have to replace that tape. It's gonna come off one of these days, I suppose. But anyway, and it does take a hood. I don't have the hood. It's a bayonet type hood. It goes on, it's gonna go on right here. I don't have it. It didn't come with this lens. I bought this used. It was well used when I bought it. And like I said, it's been right around 20 years. So, and I've taken a couple falls with it, general normal stuff. But it says right here on this lens, it says Nikon ED AF Nikkor 80 to 200 millimeter 2.8D lens. There's other versions of this. I prefer this one with the zoom ring on it. There is a model or two that has the push-pull thing, and I don't care for that. I have some zoom lenses with that, but I'd much prefer the ring right here. Okay, so that's that. That's a close-up look at this lens. Now let's get back to looking at my face. So there you go. I hope you enjoyed that. And like I said, I do, if you were in a position where you can only spend $400 or $500 and you need a good portrait lens, the 80 to 200 it would be my recommendation. I don't think you'll be sorry about it. Now, it's a little heavy. I don't know if that would matter to you or not. Heaviness doesn't matter to me. I've carried some heavy cameras in my life, and this is actually nothing, but it is. It's got some weight to it. It's all metal. It's all metal, except for the grips here, and the filter mount. That's a plastic, but everything is metal on it, and it's good quality, a really good quality lens. So let's go. I'm going to show you some pictures here, some portraits that I have taken with this camera. I've done a lot, but I just went through real quick through my files and found 15 or 16, something like that. That shows you what it can be done, and I want you to pay attention to the bokeh on this. A lot of my shot, if not at 2.8, I shot them at 4, and I think you'll be pleased with what the bokeh is. On these pictures that I'm going to show you, now I'm going to also put these on a SmugMug page, and I'll leave the link here in the description to that SmugMug page. And so when you go look at them on that page, if you enlarge the picture, let me think how this works. If you enlarge the picture by clicking on it, and then I think in the upper or on the left-hand side, you'll see some little icons. And if you click on the icon, I think it's the letter I for information. If you click on that, then you'll see all the settings for my camera for that particular picture, the aperture, shutter speed, zoom, what I was zoomed at, everything like that. What else? One other thing on this that I haven't mentioned yet is, so this is 80 to 200. So if you're using a full frame camera, that's the zoom range you'll have. However, if you're using the crop sensor, that zoom range that zoom range will be equivalent on a crop sensor camera. That zoom range will be equivalent to, what is it, 120 to 300, 200 to 300. Yeah, 120 to 300. Yeah. Pardon me, I had a little, in my mind or something. Anyway, yeah. So it'd be 120 to 300. And so 120 is good for portraits. Well, any range is good for portraits, but you get a good appearing facial features at about 120. You're just at the right range there. I'm trying to spit this out. So that's, if you're using a crop sensor, that would be the zoom range that you're going to be using there. Now that I've got that all twisted around, yeah, let's go take a look at these pictures. I hope you enjoy them, and I'll be right back with just a moment after these pictures. Thanks. Okay, there was the pictures. I hope you liked them. And thanks for stopping by and checking me out again. I'll be back. I'm trying to get onto a regular schedule. I had some problems over the Christmas time. And I hope I'm recovering from those. Not medical or health related, but just stuff happening, like that. So anyway, yeah, be sure and check the links below for if you want to go look at those photos, those portraits, and check out the camera specs and how I shot them and everything there. And other than that, I'm gonna go. Thanks for coming by, and I'll see you next video. See you later. Bye now.